whatever. You guys get the gist of it. Your obvious S tiers are going to, for jungle. This is jungle only. I'm not doing a full tier list. I don't give a crap about the other gods. Your S tier are going to be Bellona, Ratatoskr, Alquang, and Athena. These are easily your top four. If I could find Athena right here. There you go. Come on. All right, so those are your top four. Like, without a doubt, there's really no argument at all. Like, nothing. Your next tier is kind of weird because a lot of this stuff becomes situational with counter matchups and stuff. I would put Fenrir at S just because he destroys Rat. Like, he's the only jungler where if you match up jungle versus jungle, press F11. What? I really don't care if it's here. We'll full screen it if it makes you happy. Is that better for you guys? Full screen, whatever. As you see, you guys can't see it. Crunchyroll sponsored. Not trying to block out DM stuff. But anyway, Fenrir counters Rat really hard. So situational, but I still put him S because you can match him up against a lot of things and still do well. No, I don't think Thor is that good. Thor gets beat by a lot of things. Requires a certain play style that isn't optimal right now, especially with the farming meta. The fact that you're farming more and only fighting when it's necessary or fighting when you have an obvious advantage makes Thor kind of weak. I still would put him probably S or S minus because he is going to work, but I just don't play him. I'm going to put him like in between S minus and S because it's all preferential and I don't like him. Going to put Humbats probably around S minus, same thing. Good matchups, both these guys are safe. You can almost always pick them, and if you play well, you'll be fine. But yeah, you have to play well to do so. Next, Serket's definitely S by far. It's Serket. People don't play her, but she is really strong. Trying to make sure I don't miss anything here. Thanatos is a little bit better in this meta, but there's still a lot that counters it. I'm gonna throw Bastet probably in an A. Bastet can get countered. Bastet needs farm. Bastet can not snowball as hard because snowballing got nerfed off kills, and Bastet isn't the best farmer. Same with Thanatos. All about kanking, fighting. The lower snowball kind of hurts. Mercury, I'm gonna go ahead and throw him down in B just right now. I'm gonna let you know Mercury is poop. Please never ever build Mercury. Please don't do it. This is a jungle tier list, boys and girls. Jungle tier list. It's pretty obvious. I just said I'm only doing jungle. Odin's the same. Odin's super duper situational. You're playing Odin against gods like Ra, Aphrodite, Vamana, Hercules. If they pick 2 to 3 gods that have no jumps, say they pick a Xbalanque or a Medusa, they pick a Sylvanas, they pick a Geb, they pick a Poseidon, an Agni, any of those gods. If you see those 3 gods picked, then you're good to go. If the jungle doesn't have any leap, which is kind of more rare nowadays, but say they have a Rat or an Athena or Thanatos, you can pick Odin and just camp the crap out of people if you have a strong middle lane with burst. Kali I'm not sure where Kali stands right now. I'm going to throw her in probably S minus. The fact that we haven't seen her in competitive in a long time and the meta changed and we haven't really had enough time, I don't know where Kali stands. I don't know how competitive is going to be. You can stall competitive games and farm, so that's why I think Kali's probably going to be S minus. Max 6, I'm going to punch you in the throat if you tell me Mercury is good again, because I hate you. Awelix, I'm going to go ahead and throw down an A. A little bit more situational, can do well without team comps, but can also do very poorly in team fights unless you know how to position properly. Arachne, similar situation with, probably down an A minus, an A in between here. She's good farming, good fighting, gets beat by a lot of the top gods right now. Bellona can beat Arachne, Athena, Rat, Fenrir, Serket, all those can beat Arachne fairly easily. The one thing Arachne does well against is Loki and Alquang, jungle-wise or solo-wise. You can just camp them, you can see them through invis, really strong. Hebo is actually one of the mages that I think is better in this meta in the jungle. I'm putting Hebo in an A. Gods like Kali you can one-shot. Bellona you do really well against if you position properly. Trying to think. You want to not play Hebo against Fenrir. Ratatoskr can destroy Hebo. Alquang can destroy Hebo. So there are gods you want to avoid. That's the problem with making a tier list right now, is I can tell you these gods are A tier, whatever. But if you match up a Hebo against a Fenrir, Hebo becomes like D tier and Fenrir becomes SS. That's just how it works right now. Is there any other junglers? Anyone else here that I consider jungling? Freya, not really seen in the meta yet. It's gonna be kind of similar to Kali with less farm, A minus. You really have to farm a lot on Freya and position better than Kali. You don't have an ult. That's always a savior. The ult is nice, but it's a lot different from a Kali ult because Kali ult resets. Osiris gonna throw an A minus also. Nemesis destroys Osiris. Freya destroys Osiris. Ao Kuang destroys Osiris. Gotta watch out. If you build tanky enough though, and they don't have gods, they don't have a Nemesis, an Ao Kuang, or a what else? Freya. If they don't have a Nemesis, Ao Kuang, or Freya, Osiris is probably safe. Hebo can do very well against Osiris though. Osiris, you want to build tanky, frontline for your team, be annoying, and assuming they don't have the 3 gods that I mentioned, you want to play really, really aggressive from level 1. Like right away, level 1, you're playing aggressive. Invades are good. Just pushing people out. Don't be afraid to fight. Make sure you are maxing your tether, your 3, after you max your 2 and your ult. The tether is kind of key for frontlining mid to early mid, late game, whatever. You got Nemesis. I'm not sure where she stands. I'll probably throw her at A minus. Another counter matchup. Farming hurts Nemesis. She doesn't have the greatest super early clear, which with the AFK start that we were taught, you have to have the early farm, have to have the early clear. If you can't 1v1, 2v2, or just flat out clear people at level 1 to 3 to 5 in there, you're going to get wrecked. So Nemesis is kind of weak. I think Ymir jungle is stronger now than before. Like I said, you have to be able to clear and fight. Ymir has one of the best level 3 fights probably you'll get at mid camps, and especially with the clear, you have a 6-second, your second ability is on a 6-second cooldown. So clear the wave, run at them, stun them, 2 again, and then they're at like half health. It's really pretty simple. Not gonna go over Ravana. I think Ravana, it's not worth mentioning right now. I don't know where Ravana stands. We can go ahead and like pretend he's something, but we don't know because he hasn't even been in ranked yet. Nija is probably another A minus, a good player. I'll put her at A. I'll put it at A. You won't see me playing Nija anytime soon, more than likely, but there is situations and strengths that people will realize once the god gets put into competitive. The bait potential on the 2, the fact that you can heal on your 2 now is super strong. Like, it's insane. You can pretty much bait somebody out. They'll definitely think they're going to kill you. You heal up, your teammate comes, and you can swing an entire fight. It's kind of hard to judge right now because there isn't a lot of experience against it. I could throw Loki in here. I'm going to put Loki at B. If you're running jungle Loki, you're getting invaded, and in competitive play, you will lose off that invade. There will be no coming back from an invade like that, because an invade like that, unless your jungle is like a Thor or your solo lane is a Thor Bellona and your mid is an Isis or some other crazy unconventional mid that can fight at level 1, you will get invaded. You will lose all your jungle, and then at 4 minutes you'll get invaded again and lose all your jungle again. That's just how it works. Unless the other team makes some huge mistake in another lane and gets farmed. It's the only way. I can throw gods like Kabrakan and some Wukong on the list. They're going to be also same thing. Maybe B plus for Kabrakan. I think Kabrakan is very weak if you don't get ahead early, which is not good in this meta. You won't get that far ahead no matter what. Some Wukong is probably a little bit stronger. I'll put it A minus. I play some Wukong against gods like Ao Kuang. I play gods, some Wukong against, you can play it against like a Thor. You can play it against, trying to think, a Serket. You can play it against these gods and play aggressive and still do well. Some Wukong falls off at some point, once again, unless you're super far ahead. So you have to assume you're going to fall off and become a frontline tanky god. Not good for carrying, good for competitive play if you really, really want to do it. Baka in the jungle, very average, probably B+. Gank potential is not that good. Farm is not that easy, so you need to farm a lot. It is a little bit better than last season, but still I wouldn't recommend it. Any other fun things here? Hercules in the jungle, maybe a B+. You'll get countered by Serket, Nemesis, Odin. The lack of mobility is really hard to play with. And I think that's it for the jungle. I wouldn't put anyone else in a jungle role at all. You'll see troll picks like, I don't know, Ares or Geb in the jungle. They're not good. Bacchus in the jungle is not good. So right here is your basic tier list. Tier is garbage, dude. We'll put tier at B. Tier's down here at B. Please don't play tier. If I was playing a different role than jungle and you played tier, I'd be pissed. So, here, let me move this. Here's a full tier list. You got your 4 OP gods in the jungle right here. You've got a really strong, solid counter matchup god with Fenrir. Surquette's very simple and still strong. Hard to team fight with late game if you don't position properly. Thor Humbat super safe. You'll get beat if you get outplayed. If you understand how the gods work and you play smart, you should be fine in just about any matchup with these two gods. A Wheelix can hurt on Humbats a little bit, especially since you're playing Humbats. If you're used to playing Humbats, you just assume, I'm going to ult, I'm going to jump out, I'm good, or you just assume you're safe all the time. You're not against an Wheelix. Kali, I'm not sure where she stands. I guarantee she ends up being higher prioritized. I wouldn't be surprised if teams like Titan play a lot of Kali again. We'll see what happens. Kali Afro combination is nasty. Can get invaded though. Early game sucks. That's what you have to worry about. That new Titans main build or whatever on Kali is interesting. I wouldn't put my money on it and play with it in LAN right now. I'll tell you that right now. I don't think it's good enough to like be a first pick type thing for LAN. It really isn't. You're looking at more situational picks here. Some people prioritize Bastet. I don't think you should be playing Bastet. Thanatos does very well against Thor. If the Thor has a Geb on his team, Thanatos is not a good pick. Thanatos does not do well against Thor Geb combos. It's too much lockdown, too much protection. A Wheelix is strong in a lot of situations, except for especially pub stomping. Hebo is something you might want to try out, because with Purple Pot you can fight early and you'll be safe. Ymir is strong, same Purple Pot start. You can fight level 1 through 5 really easily. Nija is pretty strong, assuming you got farm and you know how to use your 2. The rest of the gods are fully situational. Odin I play a lot more than anyone else. I think Odin does well against anti-heal or against healing comps. You pick up an Odin, you don't need a weakening curse. You can focus one target down. Make sure you have a burst on your team. And everyone else is just your normal gods that I really don't play too often. I probably won't play in competitive. If you see me play Osiris or Nemesis in competitive, it's because we switched stuff up last minute and didn't want people to know about it. You won't see me play Mercury, Loki, or Tier ever. Maybe for fun, maybe even in ranked for fun, but not if I'm trying to win a game. If there's $100 on a ring game, those are gods I would never play. I should clip this and put it on YouTube. I probably will. I'm gonna go ahead and move my little sub thing so DM sponsors get some credit here. Let me do this. There. So yeah, that's my tier list. And honestly, if you think anything else, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying based on competitive experience so far in this meta, these are the gods you're looking at probably around this order. There is strengths in picking something like a Fenrir early and then throwing it in the solo lane and counter picking in the jungle, or vice versa. Same with Nija, same with Ymir, same with Hebo. They can go anywhere and people don't know where they're going. Odin can even be put in support. So if you're thinking at a competitive level, you can always think, this god could jungle, this god could mid, this god could solo, so they don't know what we're doing. Who counters Cabrakan? There's a lot of things that do well against Cabrakan, like Ao Kuang, even gods like Surquette, Thanatos, Nemesis, they can do very well against Cabrakan. The problem is with Cabrakan, if you fall apart, like if at any point you die and you fall behind, say 500 gold, you're probably done. It's always been like that with Cabrakan. Cabrakan doesn't turn into a support god very well. He's still bursty and frontliney, but he doesn't peel very well if the other team's playing properly. Magi's destroys you. The fact that you rely on your little ground stomp thing to do a lot of your team fight interruption, and it can be interrupted, is rough. So I don't recommend playing Cabrakan. I would probably play Hercules before I play Cabrakan, unless Cyclone picked Cabrakan and was like, never mind. Then I would probably play Cabrakan. That's one of the few situations that would happen. So I'll go ahead and put this on YouTube. You guys can check it out later. Hopefully I'll have it up there tonight. I don't see why I wouldn't. Any questions, any comments, anything, you guys let me know. Yeah, I mean, this will be on YouTube. Like I said, Ravana, not sure where he stands. I really don't think he'll be too high up here. Maybe an A- would be my assumption. The graph is really simple. You got your S+, which are like gods that are going to be first picks, first bans in competitive play and ranked play. You got your S tier, which are sometimes bans, can be picked without having like a team comp centered around you. S- to me is more like safe picks that are very, very strong. You don't need a team comp. They work with almost any team lineup, and you don't have too much to worry about in counter matchups. A for me is can be good against most matchups, but has trouble with others, and A minus for me is needs to watch out for counter matchups, or you're picking it as a counter matchup. No, Ares jungle is poo poo. Get out of here. Poseidon jungle, no or no go. No, I would. I mean, Poseidon for fun, maybe a B plus. I could throw a lot of gods in like B plus for fun jungles. Ares maybe for fun, but nah. This is my tier list, and these are the gods I would expect to see in jungle. Like any day of the week. If I saw any of these, but these three, but Mercury, Loki tier, it wouldn't be like a surprise. It'd be a pretty normal day for me. This isn't bronze 5 casual jungle now. Are the rumors about Cyclone not going to land true? Cyclone's already in Georgia, bro. Cyclone is literally with Kiki right now. So I don't know who's telling you that. You guys believe too much bullcrap. No ADCs are viable in the jungle, not at a competitive level. You play ADC against me in the jungle, I'm gonna poop on you. I will poop on you and invade on you all day, and it will make me very, very happy. Problem is with ADC in the jungle, you go Bologna or something that can stick to an ADC, and that ADC is done. GG done. Because you don't do enough damage as an ADC early. That's just how it works. I mean, the graph is explained. If you go to this website, it's smitetierlist.com here. You go here, smitetierlist.com. Go to smitetierlist.com. If you don't have all this stuff in the way, then you can read. It'll literally break down like what SS is, what S plus is, what A is. So you read the little description, then look at the tier list, and you're good to go. That simple. I will go ahead and throw this on YouTube later. I'm going to go ahead and play one game of Smite, and then I'll do